Hello and welcome to What the Fuck Am I Reading? So since we last spoke, what was it? Wednesday of last week? Something like that. Well, since then I've finished a total of 3 books. Well, 4 technically. 4 books. Let's just get started because the first one that I finished was The Court of Broken Knives by Anna Smith Spark, which was one of my kind of anticipated reads. This is a grim dark fantasy, and I had to say that I was a bit underwhelmed by it. Honestly, I don't know what is with being grim dark lately, but it's been so much hit and miss. I don't know, but I was really highly anticipating this. Basically, the main plot point is that they want to take down the emperor in this book, so they hired this group of mercenaries. But my problem with it is that it's basically not a plotless book, but it doesn't have enough plot for me. It's very focused on the main characters, Marith and oh my god, what was the name of the girl? Tasha or something like that. I'm just completely blank right now. I just don't remember the name. But it's very focused, and there's a point in the middle where there's a lot of insta love going on, which I wasn't expecting here, if I'm being honest. It was really confusing, but though I have to say, the story of the girl was the most fascinating for me. Like, Marith was okay, but this girl, she is a high priestess, and she basically has to sacrifice someone every 2 weeks, which is having like a super toll in her mind. Like, it's just so heartbroken sometimes when she is just like thinking about it. But that part I really enjoy. The rest, I have to say, not as much. But yeah, the ending was good overall. It was good overall, but I don't know how I feel about some things. That install kind of killed me. I think that maybe it's not going to be like as prominent. Oh my god, I just broke my book. My book broke. But yeah, overall, I was missing a lot of plot here. Like, it kept my attention. I read it in like 2-3 days, so it was still pretty good. But overall, I gave it 3 stars. It's mostly a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I will continue the series. I'm planning on buying the second book this month, so I'm still quite into it because of the whole like really dark atmosphere that it had. Like, that was completely great, honestly. But the magic was a little bit kind of not like non-existent, but it wasn't as much magic as I was hoping. But yeah, overall, a little bit underwhelmed. We'll continue the series. Then I read Uncrowned, which is book 7 in the Cradle series by Will White, and it was so good. I gave it 5 stars. Like, this is basically just out of the events of the previous book. We have here a competition between the different houses, and it's just so good, man. All the characters have like their moment of growth, and the tournament on itself was fucking amazing. Lena was kicking ass in this one. I just freaking loved it. Like, I was so happy reading this one. I read it in a day. I couldn't put it down. I was so into it. Also, the ending. Oh my god, I just bought Winter Steel. That was the ending. I just bought it immediately. I needed it. This was great. I just cannot go into too much detail about it because it's book 7th in a series. Like, what the hell? But I just love it so much, man, so much. It's just so good. Honestly, so good. Try the Cradle series. It's progressive fantasy. I just love it overall. It's just so good, man. That's all I can say. Yeah, I just really like it. But there's a scene here where Lena just goes out there. She's just like, I challenge everyone. And it's just so good. The scene alone was so good. Also, the tournament, the different tests were great. But yeah, the next book is 500 pages long, which scares me a little bit because all of them are just kind of in the shorter side. So I'm scared. I'm a little bit scared, but I cannot wait to dive into this one, honestly. So good, The Cradle. Oh my god, it's just so good. Then yesterday I finished The House of Always by Jen Lyons, which is book 4 in A Curse of Dragons, which is one of my favorite series. But man, I just kind of couldn't connect with this book. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but I think I might be lowering it to a 3 star. if I'm being honest. Like, this is pretty much a soap opera by now. Like, there's so many characters, and honestly, it's been a bit since I've read book 3. So I couldn't remember who was everyone. The moment I started this, I was just like, who is everyone here? I only could remember 4 like names. So I was just like, who is everyone here? What the fuck? Also, every single one of these books is really weirdly structured. Like, there are flashbacks, jump back and forward. The first one has shit ton of POVs and the girl that basically steals memories. But in this one, we start with the ending of the book, and then we are jumping back and forth between what happened 20 days ago in every single one of these characters' POVs. They are all watching the same memories, and they are basically all commenting what's going on. Which is weird. I liked it because I really like having a cast of characters I care about all condensed in one place and all having the same information, so everyone is in the same page, which I love. I hate the trope of misinformation, like you know something but the characters don't, and they are basically going mad about it. I hate that. So this I really like. But the thing is, it was so slow sometimes. Like, I felt like the story wasn't progressing at all, and this felt like a bridge book for me. It was such a dense book. The audiobook is almost 30 hours long. It's just so long. It doesn't feel like long, but the font is super small. It barely has any like white spaces on there. It's a bit of a yikes, I'm not gonna lie, but there's a scene here. We have a polyamorous relationship, and that was so fun. Like, that was so much fun, I have to say. But this is basically a soap opera right now. So, I miss that plot that was in the first book, especially. So, after the ending of the third one, I was just with the hype up here. Like, the ending of book 3 was heartbreaking. I loved it. So, this being this weird was kind of a misstep for me. So I don't know, I will read the final book when it comes out in April? Or is it in February? I don't remember, but it's coming out next year. These books come out like 6 months apart from each other, more or less, I believe. So I will 100% read book 5. But yeah, this book, it kind of felt like my complaints with Unholy War, with the third book in the Moontide Quartet. Holy shit, I almost forgot the name. But yeah, it's mostly like characters doing shit and fucking. So I was just like, give me some blood, please. And the last book that I finished today was Nothing But Blackened Teeth, because I really needed like something to wash this fantasy feeling after that chunker, which I read in a day, by the way. I'm a little overwhelmed by it. Nothing But Blackened Teeth is a paranormal horror story about a haunted house in... Is it China? I believe it's China, if I'm not mistaken. But it was really good. Like, I'm not a huge fan of novellas, but this one I actually really enjoyed. It's a group of friends, basically, before the wedding of one of them, they all go into this abandoned palace and stay the night. And of course, bad things happen. But yeah, I really like the ending. It was super ominous. And I don't know why, it felt a little bit like The Cabin in the Woods. A little bit like that, which is a film that I really enjoy. And yeah, I don't want to spoil too much. I would highly recommend that you try it. It came out this month or last month, I believe. But yeah, 100% recommend it. It's on Script right now, at least for my country. So check it out, because I give it 4 stars. So yeah, those were basically all the books that I read this week. Have you read any books this week? Are you starting any book today, tomorrow? I think today I'm going to read at least another like different book, probably Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham, the author of My Heart's a Chainsaw, because I'm a little bit still overwhelmed with The House of Always, so I want something to wash up this feeling and get back into fantasy in my November TBR, which is filled with fantasy, honestly. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. So as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.